just anything. If I could make it, I sold it. So I used to sell jewelry at one point. Like then I got in trouble at school. They said I couldn't do it no more.
Sell no more.
I am Kiria Braden, and I am a full-time entrepreneur as well as a student, and this is Stay Coded, the Conversation.
All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Nashville. I'm currently a master's student at WKU, working on my master's, and I'm studying student affairs, all while being a full-time entrepreneur where I make custom-made wigs. I color them, make them, customize them, anything you can ask for, and I also sell hair extensions as well.
Perfect. What's the name of your brand?
KB Essentials.
So why did you become a business owner? What inspired you to do that?
Well, in high school, I started my business. Well, actually, prior to starting what is now KB Essentials, it was Royalty Hair Collection. But before that, I was very artsy. So I like to paint, I like to make things. And growing up, I didn't really have a lot of money, but I still wanted like cute clothes, cute shoes, and I just wasn't privileged enough to be able to afford those things on my own. So I got my hustle on. I started selling stuff at the bus station, around school, just so I could earn me a little bit of money to get the things that I wanted. And then that's kind of where my passion stemmed from. And I found something that I was really passionate about. So I was always into hair, everything. I was on YouTube for hours, even at school. Well, I should have been doing my homework. And I just loved hair. So I started selling hair in high school. And then from there, I started making wigs, and now here I am.
So what was the first thing you ever sold?
Ooh, it was a trend like back in maybe 2014 of like flower headbands. I used to make the flower headbands and I would sell them. Like I would set up like a little station downtown at the bus station and I would just sell them out my backpack.
So who inspired your hustle? Because, what made you be like, oh, I could sell something? Like, did you have other people around you, family, friends, that were selling things and you thought, oh, I could do that too? Or it kind of was just like a self-ambition?
It kind of just happened. Like, I knew that I could make money. And really, not gonna lie, I would go to like these summer camps and we would always walk to the nearest like candy lady house and she would have everything. And I'm like, dang, like the candy lady was rich. Like I thought she was rich, but like in reality, she was doing that to help provide for herself. So kind of just seeing other people like that and just doing little stuff like that inspired me to do the same. And like art was my thing in high school and middle school too. So I just took, like I used to make like little paintings. I used to paint like bookmarks, notebooks and all that and just sell it. And then anything, if I could make it, I sold it. So I used to sell jewelry at one point. Like then I got in trouble at school. They said I couldn't do it no more.
Sell no more. What's the hardest part about starting a business?
Definitely taking the first step. Like selling hair was like my real first business move. And I was so afraid. Like I thought the girls at school was gonna laugh at me. Nobody was gonna buy from me. And I was just really scared to just take the first step. And that's really what held me back for so long. And eventually when I worked up the courage to do it, even though I failed maybe like the first 10 times, it helped me be who I am today. So definitely just taking the first step.
Yep. What was your first step? How did you start?
Well, I got a job and my granny got tired of buying my hair because I wanted hair like every month. And she was like, Kiria, no. So I ended up getting a job and I worked at Jump Street for like up until I went to college actually. And that's what funded my business. So I would work on weekends after school and I made me up a business plan. I tested out vendors and I just researched, learned and everything. And that kind of helped me get started because I was broke in high school. My little $200 checks, it wasn't cutting it. So I just kept, hustling, working and stuff. And just then I started building my clientele like on Instagram. I took some pictures and with some popular girls at school because I figured these are the girls everybody want to be. So like, let's make something shake, you know? And then it just started from there.
So you said you were a student, right? So what does a day in the life look like for you currently? What are you doing every day?
So my everyday life, I wake up and I also work full time. So I'm a full-time student, entrepreneur, and I work full time. So I have to be at work at 8 o'clock. So sometimes I may wake up at 5, work on a wig, work on some content, stuff like that. And then I go to work. While I'm at work, I feel like my mind is always working. I'm looking up different trends, hairstyles. If somebody wants a wig that's colored like this and I've never done it before, I'll research like what I need to do to get that. I'm on Canva 24/7, just making stuff. I'm also in the middle of a rebrand, so a lot of my time is spent on Canva. And then when I get off work, it's the same thing, working on a wig or doing someone's hair or something like that. But yeah.
So what encouraged you to go back to, like, what encouraged you to go to school? Because if you already had like this entrepreneur spirit and you were like, you know, already working, what made you be like, I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna get a degree?
I think just wanting to learn. I took college more so as an opportunity to network versus getting a degree. I knew there was going to be girls on campus, and luckily I didn't know that nobody in Bowling Green made wigs, really did hair, not to my knowledge or anything like that. So I definitely took that as an opportunity to capitalize off that. And just being able to meet people, just learn everything. And of course I did end up getting my degree, but I was really there just to make connections and really find ways to elevate myself. Because even if I did contemplate dropping out, and if I did, I still feel like I would have gained something from going to college because I met so many people. But yeah, definitely just the networking opportunities and the opportunities that I met through the people that I met.
But now you're getting your master's.
Yeah.
So what encouraged you to do that? That's a big step.
Yeah, it is. And after college, my whole life did a full 180. Like I studied business and now I'm getting a master's in student affairs. Cause like I was really involved on campus. So just seeing the impact that you have on people, it was really rewarding. And like the job I have now, I work with underrepresented students on campus too. So just being able to be somebody's like reason to keep going is really rewarding. Like I had those people in undergrad and I just want to be that for somebody else. And plus the school pays for it because I work at the school, so why not?
What does the word essential mean to you?
The word essential means like it's mandatory, like it's non-negotiable. It's you can't compromise. And like the name KB Essentials come from, of course, my name's Kiria Braden, so KB. And then my essential is my confidence. That's something I take with me every day. No matter how I'm feeling, I wake up and try to be my best self. And I want when people wear my wigs that they can wake up feeling their best self. Like I want when somebody got KB Essentials on and they walk into the room, they're the only person in the room. Like I want their confidence to elevate because I was able to provide a service for them. So yeah, that's kind of where that name came from.
Okay, I want to go back to something that you said. So talk a little bit about that time period after graduating and you trying to figure out like what your next step was for yourself and for your business.
Yeah, that was a hard time. I cried every single day at work. So I was fortunate enough to have a job right after graduation. I worked at a credit union locally, and I had worked at a credit union before, so it wasn't foreign to me. But when I got there, I quickly realized that this was not what I wanted to do. Like, I hated it. And I think I just got caught up in the fact that it was good money. Like, it paid the bills. I had some extra, and fresh out of college, my granny cut me off. So I had to pay all my bills on my own. So like, I was at a job suffering, and I was just like, I can't leave because I have responsibilities. Like, I'm not in college anymore. I don't have anyone taking care of me anymore. And that was really depressing. And like, I really just contemplated everything. Like, I was like, I even contemplated going back home. And one thing I said when I graduated, I was not going back home, because that's kind of like my safe space. And I didn't have to go back home if I didn't want to. So I don't know. I just really felt like a failure. And it makes me upset just thinking about it. But it was really hard. And I don't think a lot of people realize how hard that it gets, because like, I've seen my peers, like, they were all moving to Texas and North Carolina and Atlanta and all this stuff. And I'm like, dang, like, when is it going to be my turn? And I think that really made me even more depressed and pushed me further down in the hole, because comparison is the thief of joy. I couldn't be happy because I was looking at everybody else's happiness and comparing my life to theirs. And when I finally woke up and was like, you know what, I want better for myself, I'm going to do better for myself, that's when things started to look up for me.
Graduate, and it's like, okay, now what? And then it's like, life just kind of hits you in the head.
It hit me in the head with a bag of bricks. Like, I was not ready for it. And I always heard like post-graduation depression, like all that good stuff. Well, not good stuff, but all that stuff. And I never really took it to heart for real, because I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with y'all. Y'all all right. Until it happened to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. That's why I try to advocate for my students now. Like, they're so in a rush to graduate. And I'm like, y'all, like, just slow down. Enjoy yourself. Like, you're going to get a job. You're going to find what it is that you want to do. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't immediately find it after graduation, it's okay. Like, your time is going to be your time. Mm-hmm. And that took me so long to realize. That's why now I kind of I chill, because I know something bigger is coming. And I know God got me, and I'm just going I put my faith in him and let him order my steps.
Okay, so what makes your brand unique to other brands?
What makes my brand unique? I take a lot of pride in my brand. And plus, I feel like because people are spending so much money with me, I want to make sure that their experience is a good one. And I don't want them to leave my services dissatisfied. So I feel like my customer service is really good throughout the whole wig making process, especially if there's color involved. I tend to keep them updated just so they can have a eased mind. And I'm a lot of people's first wig. And I've started to notice that, like, people trust me to make their first wig. So like, I got to really make sure I'm on top of it, make them feel comfortable, because if you drop in $500, $400 on a wig, you want it to be the way that you want it. So definitely my customer service and my passion. I'm really passionate about what I do, and it shows in my work, because this was a hobby before I made it like a hustle, and I think it shows for sure.
For sure. Okay, so what's some advice you would offer somebody that is starting in the industry, in your industry? Maybe some things that you did at first that you would never do again.
Definitely be teachable. I feel like any type of beauty, makeup, hair industry is such a high demand industry that's never gonna go away. Like me going in, I didn't know anything. And when older hairstylists and just other business owners would try to tell me stuff, I'm just like, she old, she'll know what she's talking about. But them is the people who you really need to take knowledge from. And at one point in time, I was not teachable at all. And so I failed so many times because I did not want to listen to people who have been there. And definitely take advice from people who have been in your shoes and who have done the exact same thing that you've done. Yeah, definitely seeking knowledge. That's probably my biggest thing. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Yeah, because everybody's doing it. Like the beauty hair industry is saturated, but you can be uniquely yourself to set you apart from others. But you got to know how to get started. Like you got to know your target audience, and that's a thing that has really shifted my business as well. Is definitely understanding and learning your target audience.
How do you see your platform growing in the next 3 to 5 years?
3 to 5 years. So again, back to the target audience, that's something that I have really been shifting. So originally my target audience was college students. I was affordable hair extensions for college students who may not be able to drop $300-$400 on hair. But as I began to grow, I've realized that I've moved away from that target audience. Although I still serve them, that's not my primary focus. I want to be a wig maker I want to serve news anchors. I want to turn on the news and I see a KB Essentials wig on the Weather Lady. Or I want to see a KB Essentials wig when a realtor is showing a multi-million-dollar house and they're like, oh, where do you get your hair from? This is KB Essentials. Like, that's what I want. Or like lawyers walking in a courtroom with all these important people. Like, I want to serve those, I guess, kind of like higher up people. Like, I want to turn on the TV and see my wigs on there. Or like just actresses and plays and stuff like that. And I've been watching Bridgerton and Queen Charlotte wigs, like somebody had to make those. So like, I'm like, dang, like, although I make just like the lace, bust down middle parts, it's so much more that I could do in the industry that I really want to be a part of. So I'm definitely trying to seek opportunities that can allow me to get to there. Because if you think about it, like anytime you turn on the TV, 9 times out of 10, they got on a wig. And like even just like influencers and stuff like that, like that's kind of where I want to elevate myself and get to that point. So yeah.
You offer such a needed, and like you're in a necessity business. Like, girl, I cannot live without.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell people this all the time. Like, appearance is so important, and it's also like, you know, you feel better when you are put together and you know, you're wearing luxury things, and you know, I just feel like it just helps so much. It does help with your mental and your mentality. Like,
when you look good, you feel good.
You look good, you feel good every time. Yeah. That's it.
That was it. Okay, for you.
That was good.
Thank you.
So good. You were prepared.
Thank
okay.
you. I was prepared. I told you I've been practicing in the mirror.
Why couldn't I play around? Not at all.
I am Kiria Braden, and I am a full-time entrepreneur as well as a student, and this is Stay Coded, the Conversation.